Welcome. You are now listening to Click Click Play. Please enjoy.
Fight!
Hello, welcome to Click Click Play, episode 80 something or other. I think it's 84. I want to say. I don't know. I can't see. I've updated it and it's not on here. But we're here. We are queer, and you all better get used to it. And my favourite Welsh man himself, over down there in the corner, Jordan Rees. How are you?
Howdy, partner.
Howdy.
Yeah!
You can probably tell what we're going to be focusing on today. So, by the way, it is a Red Dead Redemption 2 kind of special, but it will be spoiler free because I haven't played it as much as I'd like to. So I've really not kind of done anything.
He dies at the end.
Oh no, Red Dead Redemption 2 spoiler free. John.
Oh, sorry.
Cheers, yeah.
I've been playing the first one. What is there a new one?
There is, yeah. Oh shit.
We've just been playing the old.
And speaking of westerns, Dolly Parton's biggest fan is joining us all the way from, I think he's in Syria at the moment, calling us by satellite phone. Mellum,
Yeah, that's true.
how are you, Mellum?
I'm good.
What have you been up to? Why are you in a place with a plant and a different microphone?
This is the reason I'm here. I'm watching my mom's apartment, and
The plant. Does she have pets, or is it just the plants you're watching?
it's only the plants. No, and also, she has a really nice TV, so I'm playing Red Dead on it.
Ooh, I've been playing it on a
Nice, yeah.
4K as well. Brenda says plants need love too. That's true. Cloud is better than Jordan, according to Little Shrek. Ooh.
Oh,
Yeah. Is it kicking off already?
That's a reference.
Yeah.
Well, you say that, but I won the match.
Yeah.
So are we talking about virtual professional wrestling or just as a human?
Well, I mean, yeah, as a human, Cloud probably is better than Jordan. But
Tell
in
me about
wrestling.
Cloud. Talk to me about somebody. Tell me about Cloud.
So for those who don't know, I've been playing more than Red Dead Redemption 2. I've been playing WWE 2K19, Game of the Year contender. It's my streaming game. I've been getting really angry with it today though because it keeps crashing. Which is kind of
And
annoying.
Red Dead Redemption 2 is out, so you should just be playing that.
Yeah, I should.
I get it because you don't want to stream it. I get
I
it.
don't. Well, I thought, okay, if I stream Red Dead Redemption 2, no one's going to watch because if you're interested in Red Dead Redemption 2, you want to play it and you want to avoid spoilers. And if you're not interested, why the hell are you going to watch a stream? Anyway, I started streaming it within 20 minutes. I just quickly looked at my phone and there were 25 to 30 people watching and it just kept growing. I was like, oh, okay, maybe. But then also the chat was going crazy and I was getting a bit distracted. But I don't know. I think Red Dead, if I'm doing it on stream, I might just kind of do the side quests and explore and stuff because that's cool. But like when it comes to the main stuff, it might be nice to do it on a 4K TV.
Yeah, I think I don't know much about streaming, but I reckon Red Dead in some ways is probably a pretty good streaming game because it's kind of like a sandbox, isn't it? And you never really know what's going to happen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
You
Right.
don't have to follow the story at all.
No.
Mm.
Right now you're right now I'm kind of just like when it's a brand new game coming out, a lot of people come in just to like see what it's like. So it's not just the people that are interested are gonna want to avoid spoilers, but those that aren't interested are not gonna watch it. But there's a lot of curious people thinking, hey, what's this game like? And a lot of PC gamers. Why is it out on PC? Oh.
30 frames a second.
Oh yeah, we'll probably mention about that. But first, what have you
It's so
guys?
overrated.
Yeah, what have you been up to, Mellum?
I feel like I haven't seen Malum in a year.
No,
Yeah,
like he's got a tan. He's been to Jamaica.
It's just the cam. I'm being hiding inside the apartment just playing, so I don't have a tan.
And he's been also gaming as well. Tumbleweeds in Red Dead style.
Yeah,
It's so good to see you, Mellum.
yeah, likewise.
We like Mellum's been away for quite a while, but I'm guessing you heard it was the Red Dead special, and you're like, oh, I wanna.
Yeah, I can't have you two guys just talking shit about it.
Yeah, we're about to rip it apart. Just you wait. But yeah, Melon, how have you been?
frames a second is just not good enough, you know.
I mean, it is a little bit annoying, but apart from, but it's not a fast. It's what I'm playing with. That'll be my only criticism of the game. Maybe that is that. Yeah, it's 30 frames per second, but on a PS4 Pro, it's a solid 30 frames per second, and it's not kind of, you're not whizzing your camera around all the time like you are in Horizon Zero Dawn, which is the one thing that did kind of annoy me in that game. As well,
You're a PC elitist, Ben. That's the
I am.
problem.
Oh god, can you imagine though? Can you imagine this game in like ultra settings or even better settings at like 144 frames per second?
Don't think you'll need to imagine too long. I'm pretty sure. Are we into the game?
Yeah,
Are we there?
Should we just
What's going
go?
on?
Should we just go straight into the games? Because
Yeah.
I don't have a really long show
Darling.
today. Right, games time.
Time to play the game. It's all about the game. And how you play it, all about control. And if you can take it, all about your debt. And if you can play it, it's all about pain. And who's gonna make it?
What games are you playing, you bastards? You. So, what game we've just been? Well, so WWE 2K19. Still a game. Still playing it. Let's move on. Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah.
So, how many hours are you guys in? I think you're gonna just embarrass me now.
I don't know. Is there a counter in the game?
Yeah, I was looking for a counter right now. I can't find it.
No,
I can see like percentage completion. I'm 35% overall. No, 35% for the story, I think.
yeah.
Which
Yeah,
seems
I'm
crazy because I feel like I've done a lot of fucking stories. So if I'm a third through, wow, that's a lot of like campaign content. But
That's
do we
weird.
know your save file somewhere to see the sum hours?
I don't know unless you said you were looking, Melon.
I can check. I can't find anything, but I will check the save file.
My
Yeah, let me know and I'll check on the show as well. I feel like I'm probably maybe 20, maybe a bit less.
it's weird. Yeah, I'm probably like 7 or 8, and it says it's like 12.5 or 12 or 13. I've just been like looking around and searching. I took the train. I didn't realize. I remember reading at the beginning, Rockstar said that Saint Denis is their biggest city because they're talking about they had to change it from Old Bordeaux or New Bordeaux, but then they realized.
What city?
Yeah, they were going to call it New Bordeaux, but then they realized that Mafia 3 had a city in there called that, so they changed it all, and I had to put a few 100-hour weeks in, I'm sure, to change everything in there. And I went to a train station, and I thought, like, as these type of games in the past have been like that, I won't be able to go to any other places in the map, really. But like, nope, you can go straight to Saint Denis. All right, okay. Went in there, and I was blown away by that town, or that city. And so many people in the chat were saying, because this was on stream, they were saying how it's very much like New Orleans, but like really a long time ago. Obviously,
Isn't it supposed to be?
it feels like
New
that.
Orleans, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like the French kind of place, I guess, in terms of old school America. So I've skirted along the outskirts of that town,
Yeah.
of the city. The story or side quest or something kind of nearly took me into it. I took a wrong turn, and I was like, "Fuck, this is a big industrialized city. I don't feel
Very.
like I'm ready to go there yet." Have you done the mission? I bumped into a guy in Valentine, and he was like, I'm researching a gunslinger. I need you to go and interview these people
yes.
regarding him.
Yeah, I've not
Cool.
done any of those, but I found him.
You've got that mission, yeah?
Yeah.
So at some point I was like, right, I'm just going to clear these up. And basically the guy has given you some photographs and you just need to go into your satchel, have a look at the photograph, and then that'll ping a waypoint for
Okay.
you so you can go and find the people. And one of them is kind of living down south, and on the way to find that person, I started hitting that kind of industrialized town. And I was like, no, I'm not ready for this. I'm still kind of feeling the really rustic country vibe, and I just skirted around the sides of it and kind of left. So I still haven't seen the full, like how built up that game can get and how busy that game can get.
See, I'm the opposite.
I'm
I
assuming
went
that's
into
the
the towns, and I spent quite a while in that city, just walking around. I had like a lady gave me a tug while I was having a bath, which was unusual.
Yeah.
I wasn't used to that, and well, she liked.
You can do that in the smaller place, unless they do it different in the city. Do they actually fully give you a tug?
Their class,
I had a couple of. Does she just wash you down? Is that what she's doing?
She does, but then she puts
Air ducts.
she puts her hands in the tub for quite a long time while she's trying to collect water or something.
loses the soap or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you had a tug in Bath, Mellum?
Yeah.
Have you been playing the game
you're
as well?
talking about the game, not in the game.
A few this weekend on Home Alone. So yeah, have you got to Saint Denis, Mellum? I have to pronounce that. I was going Saint Denis. It's Saint Denis, and then she was like, "Hey,
I
what?"
didn't know about that city. I've been in 2 cities.
Yeah.
Valentine and the next one.
Oh, I've been to the next one. I've been to Valentine. Don't you just? I mean, it's just me. I was kind of fawning over the game, I'm sure, but I love that the first thing you do, you go to Valentine, and then something happens. I'm not gonna like I say it's a spoiler free, so I'm not gonna say anything. And then that thing that happens is referenced so often afterwards. Like there was a disturbance that happens, and then when I went back to camp, and then I did a side mission that's totally unrelated to that one with another guy, and he was like, "Oh," and I said, "Oh, I stay out of trouble," and he goes, "Oh, that's not what I heard in Valentine. I heard about your ruckus you caused over there," and it just kind of blew me away with this stuff. And I think Jordan, I said to you, or do you think this is? I said to you, do you think this is going to be Game of the Year 2018? And you said, "Oh, it feels like Game of the Year 2021." I genuinely felt the same thing when I was playing it earlier today on a 4K TV with HDR, and I was just walking around. I was in a town outside of Saint Denis, and just thinking, this game. They could tell me that this game's coming out in 5 years, and I'd believe them. Yeah,
it is, and I guess maybe that signals that we're going to get into our actual thoughts on it. This game is, in my mind, years and years beyond anything else that I've played. And the weird thing is, I've separated modern games into kind of really general categories. You've got linear games, i.e., something like The Last of Us, something like Uncharted, something like God of War. Even though God of War is a little bit more open, I still look at it as kind of a fairly linear experience.
Yeah.
And the big open world pieces where they're building bigger worlds, but there's a sacrifice that comes with that, obviously from a graphical point of view and potentially some detail in the environments. This game somehow, and I have no idea how the fuck they've done it, I think this game kind of competes with something like Uncharted in terms of the detail in the environments, the facial animations, just everything.
Yeah.
But it's open world. That doesn't make sense. The only thing that I've seen that compares with it is The Last of Us 2, and obviously we've only seen some gameplay videos of that, and I've got to assume that game isn't. I would imagine it's a little bit more open than the first one, but that probably isn't going to be an open world game. So the fact that Rockstar has released this, I think is absolutely fucking crazy. It feels like witchcraft to me.
How far into it are you,
I'm
Mel?
not playing on a 4K, and also I use the original PlayStation 4, so it's not a PlayStation Pro. And
Okay.
It doesn't look that great. It's but I don't know, the detail just takes up for it. The graphic isn't that important, but I understand that it's really great on a 4K with a PlayStation Pro or
yeah. I mean, I've been
Xbox,
I've been streaming it off, like, not when I was streaming it wasn't obviously in 4K. It was just on my monitor, so it's on a pretty small screen. But on the Pro, it's a solid 30 FPS, I believe. Whereas when it comes to the base one, maybe I think it dips in certain areas. So maybe when you go to, have you been to Saint Denis? Oh no, you said you didn't know it existed. But yeah, when you go there, I wonder if it'll chug, because my base PlayStation 4, when I went to what's the name of that big place? Is it Novigrad in The Witcher 3? It sounded like a jet engine, and the frame rate was, I could, like, the minimap wouldn't even load. It was just like a black screen on the minimap. It was weird.
I can't be too long into Valentine.
Sorry?
Because I can't be for too long inside the Valentine, because it sounds like my PlayStation is gonna burn.
Yeah. Got to get yourself a Pro, Mellum.
Yeah.
The Pro, I mean, wait till the next one, I'd guess.
So I'd say regardless, I know there's obviously at this point, because of where we are with the current generation of consoles, you basically span from vanilla Xbox all the way up to an Xbox One X, and in between that, vanilla PlayStation Pro. So I get that there's differences in terms of frame rate and resolution, but when I'm talking about this game looks next gen or just way above what we played previously, it isn't about it isn't necessarily about the resolution that is bumping out or the frames per second that is bumping out. It's about what they've done with that world. That is such a rich and varied world. It feels like every single square meter of it is bespoke.
Did you
custom? I've just come off the back of playing the latest Assassin's Creed. Like if you think about 2 weeks ago, I criticized that game for feeling templated in terms of the world it created, and now I'm playing this, and it is just such the antithesis.
Did you see
of
my
Assassin's
tweet?
Creed Odyssey.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna go back to Assassin's Creed Odyssey, but I might not look at it as favorably as I do this. Did you see my video that I put up about 2 hours ago?
I don't think so.
I'm gonna put it in the chat now. It's it's just things like this that make me love this game so much. The one about nature hating me. Wait till the end of the clip.
I did when you got fucked up by two animals in the wild. I did see that. Yeah, that was common.
Goat came at me, took me up, but then a random pig came out of nowhere as well and just knocked me over.
Is it a goat? It looked like.
Oh, it might have been.
I thought it was some kind of like small deer or something.
Possibly, yeah.
Was it a goat?
I didn't. No, it might have been. I'm not sure. It was. Looking at it now, yeah, it looks like it was. It was a some kind of deer.
So I guess this show probably is just going to be us listing out things we fucking love about this game. And
what about let's look at
like,
negative things. Come on, let's be negative. Okay. We are critical games journalists.
Just finish that thought then.
Mm-hmm.
I was just going to say the wildlife in this game is really fucking awesome for me. I've always wanted. I was hopeful with GTA 5 because the wilds, because the wide like expanse that they had in that game. I was hoping it could be like as an aside a bit of a hunting game, and it never was. This totally fucking is, as far as I can tell. The wildlife again shares all the same detail in terms of animation. I don't know if you've kind of wounded an animal yet, but
yes, and
you've probably seen it as part of the opening story.
Yeah.
Probably make you do that. But that just happens in the wild, you know. If you trample over an animal, if you shoot it but don't kill it, you know, they'll either live on or they'll lie down and look fucked.
Have you tried going into a general store with a skinned goat carcass on your back? No. Or on your shoulder? I went in there. No. What the hell are you doing in here with that? Get out! And they're walking with this. I was like, maybe I can sell it in this store. Nope, no. They're like, get out!
Get the fuck out of my shop, you fucking cowboy!
Yeah, what are you doing? Dripping blood everywhere.
We can talk about more of that later. But for me, like I'm loving kind of playing through the story right now. But what I'm really excited for is when I'm done with the story. The story almost very much with this game, more so than the other Rockstar games, the story very much feels like they're telling you about this world and how the mechanics interact and what you can do in this world, with the promise that, you know what, when the story is done, you're not done with this game. You'll go and play it in the single player world, but also, and again, we'll probably talk more about this later, you've got the online offering.
Can't wait to see what that's like. Yeah.
I very much feel like as good and as crafted as the single player stuff is, I definitely feel like they're telling you, look how fucking amazing this world is. Let us tell you how this all interacts, and then we're just gonna let you go. And I'm really looking forward to just being a cowboy, and you know, I'll probably be a crazy bandit guy with a mask on my face and just go around serial killing people or just hunting and stuff like that. Anyway, we were going to talk about criticisms, yeah? So what are you?
Yeah, my criticism. Melon, what are your criticisms? Well, you're on the base PlayStation 4, so you're probably getting like the worst experience of all.
Yeah, but I don't think it's.
From what I've heard, the base PS4 runs well.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I can't complain.
The only one I've heard pretty negative about is the vanilla Xbox. I've heard the vanilla Xbox is fairly substandard, but I imagine the PlayStation 4 at least is doing okay.
Yeah, it's okay. But the thing I hated, I needed like breaks, because I had to ride so much all the time, so I got like almost bored of it.
Oh, I was the opposite. Well, I lost my horse in Saint Denis. I didn't know where it went, and I don't know what happened to my horse. It disappeared, and you can summon it again.
Talk with me when you have ridden for 20 hours.
Why have you been riding a horse for 20 hours?
You just have to go everywhere in this game.
So is the criticism that there's too much traversal? Is that what you're saying?
I'm gonna. Here's the thing, because they have already fixed it, and I didn't know about it. If you set up a marker on a place, and you ride on a road, and then you put on cinematic camera, it will automatically ride there for you. But
and there's fast travel. You can unlock fast travel at the camp.
I didn't realize that about the other.
That's only from the camp.
Yeah, that's the thing I love. I was kind of going to say it to you earlier, Ben, when you were asking on Twitter
Yeah.
about the fast travel stuff. It's it's such a Red Dead thing. They unlock fast travel. It takes you to the place, but then it doesn't bring you back. So you've definitely got to fucking ride back. Like, assumably, if you're doing fast travel, you're traveling for quite a fucking distance, and then it's like,
Yeah.
okay, you're done. You could just be in a field somewhere covered in mud with a dead horse.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, okay. Well, now I fucking love it.
Oh, I mean, I tried this with Zelda at one point. I think the first 40 hours of Zelda Breath of the Wild, I didn't fast travel at all. I'm like, I just love this game. I love traveling and riding a horse and going really vast spaces and just thinking about it. I want to play Zelda again. But like, I just loved traveling around there. But then after like 40 hours, I thought, I've got to go one little thing from here and there's one shrine over there. I'm just going to fast travel to those. So eventually it does, but I'm going to try and put off fast traveling as long as I can, just because it's so incredible.
Have you fast traveled at all yet?
Well, I went on a train, which counts as fast traveling because it just shows a loading screen.
You're just on a train, aren't you? It's fine.
No, but yeah, that's what I liked. I liked the idea that I would have preferred it.
Can you not ride without skipping it? I would have thought they would just let you sit on the train.
Yeah, they did, but I went to a train station and bought my ticket, and it took me because I was like, I want to go to Saint Denis, but it came up with a loading screen, and I was in Saint Denis.
So you can't just like get your ticket, get on the train, and then it takes you there.
No, but I because I think you can get on the train because I jumped on a train that was moving because it was taking forever. Did you see this video?
There's a lot of trains. No, I haven't seen your video.
There's a train. It was just leaving the station, and I was like, oh, I need to get to the other side, and it's a really long train. So I jumped on between two carriages, and then jumped off the other side and fell flat on my face. And I was like, okay, cool. So, but when you're on there, you can press ride train. So I wonder if it's like the original one where it's kind of a cinematic view, and you can just sit on the train as it goes past. But yeah, okay. The criticism, I do have a criticism. I'm 10 hours in, and I still have no idea how to work the inventory and provisions and all these things, and what I'm selling and where I put things. I just need to sit down, I think, for an hour and work out what's like counts as being on my horse, how to change these things, and yeah, that would be the only criticism. It's pretty complicated, but I'm sure once I've learned how to use it, it'll make sense.
Yeah. What specifically are you finding difficult with that? What are you worrying about?
It was just
the thing on your horse. It's not something you have to take. That's just a fast travel to your satchel. So you can either just use R1 and now L1 and get the things on the horse, or you can just press the right button it will give you the satchel, and there you have everything. So
can you send it to the horse?
Do the same thing.
Can you send it to the horse if the horse is not next to you?
You can take out some arms that are located on the horse when you're next to it.
Yeah, because there's like L1 and R1 you press to cycle through, and it'll be like provisions or trinkets that you sell, and the last one is horse gear. And I couldn't remember if that's stuff that's actually stored on my horse or if it's just stuff for the horse.
No, it's for your horse. It's
like
the
carrots
guns,
and that.
And then it's healing for yourself and thing for yourself, and then it's thing for your horse.
I'll go through it. I'm going to stream it after the podcast, by the way, so I'll try and focus and try and work out what it is. But oh my god, yeah, I had it's just incredible. I had a Twitch member of staff actually join. Rich came in the morning I was streaming it, and as it came out, and he hadn't heard anything about it and not seen any gameplay, and it was the first time he watched it just as I was at the camp coming down the mountain. Oh, it was incredible. I got killed instantly, actually. I went down.
Okay, so I'll put it out there. Is this the best looking game you've ever seen?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's nothing. I'm trying to think of something that might come close. Even God of War. God of War was impressive with the scale of some of the monsters. Like when that thing came out of the water, the world thing. Was it the world snake?
Yeah.
That was for me. That was really impressive. But when it comes to kind of vistas and good-looking games, this even blows Horizon out of the world. Yeah, way more. Don't you find as well that you don't feel like you're in a game world? You feel like you're in the real world. It's just copied and pasted from somewhere. It's so... You're like, how did they come up with that?
Every place you are, it feels like you're inside a little arena or something. It's like, it's so different. If you go on the walks 20 meters, it's a whole new world. It's really weird.
And that's what I mean about the post-game stuff. Like, can you imagine what they could do with Red Dead Online? Just those little areas, like how that's going to feel when, whatever it is, if you're going against 6 other online players or something, you could just be in a small part of that map, and it's going to feel like it's going to feel really diverse and like really interactive.
I really hope the online. I mean, it'd be cool to have in PvP area. I would love a PvE online mode where you're just kind of riding around with people. That would be just so much
Probably
fun.
going to be something like hunting big animals or something.
Yeah, heists maybe, because there's all they keep mentioning.
I do hope there's all that kind of passive stuff. I hope it isn't just PvP.
Yeah.
I said yesterday on Twitter about a mode that I would like to see. Did you see my tweet on that?
No, I didn't actually.
So the way I'm thinking about it, 13 players. It's basically kind of like a battle royale type thing. So you have 13 players. You start in a random location spread across the entire map. So the entire map's in play. I don't know how technically feasible that is. I assume it's fine, because we did it with GTA. 12 people are bounty hunters. 1 person at random is the bounty. There's a visual indicator on the map that starts basically taking up most of the map, and then basically rounds of 25 minutes max, something like that. And every couple of minutes, that indicator shortens, so the bounty hunters can see closer and closer where that bounty is. And obviously, the bounty hunters are competing with each other in terms of finding that person. So if you see another bounty hunter, you can take them out. That's absolutely fine. But it's the person to kill that bounty or the last person standing. So if you're the bounty, you obviously just want to be the last person standing, basically. I think that would be a really fucking kick-ass mode for this.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, that sounds good.
yeah, I'm totally up for that.
Don't need to parachute in.
Nope. Yeah, no
Need a battery
parachuting. No parachuting. Yeah, people who play battle royale games are the worst, aren't they, Mirta?
Yeah. Fucking plebs.
Yeah, they don't appreciate a good. They're the ones that like Smirnoff Ice instead of a nice, brandy.
One thing I don't like about the game is the same button to interact with people is the same as aiming.
But if you're near
many
them,
times I would just want to talk with somebody and I just
yeah,
and he scared and runs away, and I was just going to talk with him.
Yeah,
and for some reason, it's a really good way. The good thing they did it because it's more like you have to put down your gun. You have to. It's like it makes you more immersed in the gameplay. So that's cool. But the problem is just so many times I'm just shooting people when I don't want to shoot them.
Yeah, I think it's a case of, I don't think it's necessarily flawed. I think it's just because we've come into the game expecting a certain type of control type. There's a real density of control mechanisms in this game because you can do so many different things and it's so contextual. But yeah, I totally get what you mean. I find it quite interesting.
Jumping, you don't fucking jump in the real world. Fuck jumping.
But don't you think the jumping is really cool? Like, I find the controls. Somebody said that they're a bit sluggish, and they feel really realistic. Especially, I thought it was
weighty.
A bit, yeah.
GTA 5 was weighty as well.
But I thought at the beginning, and Mega Petros, so I don't think he's in the chat, but we were discussing that it felt a bit too weighty at the beginning, and all I was thinking was, I hope this is because we're in the snow, and it was. Like, the second you put on cooler clothes, it's so much easier to move around, but obviously it does feel quite weighty. But that when you're in the snow, it does feel like you are in the snow with real heavy gear, and it's going to take you a bit to turn around and move.
Yeah. So what I would say about that is, since GTA 4, the way that Rockstar builds these games is that your character is very much just a part of that world, and there's a whole physics engine and inertia and all that kind of stuff impacting that player. And for me, I love that because it makes me feel part of the world. And I get that it is not as agile as controlling something like Assassin's Creed or other open world games, but this is a different experience. You're not supposed to be flying around the place. You're supposed to be taking your time, and
I've just been exploring.
Something happens to you. If you think about how you feel when you fall down a cliff or something in this game, it's a different thing to other games, and that's because of that sense of weight. And that doing that is fucking hurting your character versus other games where like you're some kind of superhero.
Have you done what I did many times? And well, I did it once, and I got a bounty, and then I switched it to make sure I didn't do it again. Have you got on another person's horse by mistake?
No.
Oh, I kept doing that, and then so I've now my horse has got a braided tail, so I can identify it. Because otherwise, I was just climbing on people. I climbed on another guy's horse, but then I I was near a horse. And I couldn't find my horse, and I thought, oh, maybe it's another horse because I've got 3, I think, in the stable. So I whistled for it, and then this horse in front of me that was next to a tree, and it had a saddle on it, and there was no one else around. Just kind of turned around. So I thought, oh, that must be my horse right now. I climbed onto it, and there was a dude asleep underneath the tree, and it was his horse. He's like, hey, what are you doing? And then he started shooting me, and I shot him back. And then the dog ran away, and Dave got upset because he was like, "You scared the dog." Like the guy was killing me.
And shot the man.
Yeah, and shot the man. No, I scared the dog. That was the thing.
Of course.
Can you have a dog in this game? I feel like they're alluding to it. There's so many dogs that you see.
Want that to happen.
You feel like there would be something in the camp maybe that you could maybe upgrade.
Yeah.
You
I kind of feel like there isn't.
and pet them and stuff. So
You see a lot of dogs, and you can. I don't know if you've noticed, but if you lock onto them with L2, and just on that point, I guess, like I totally get what you're saying in terms of, they're using the trigger controls for more than just aim and shoot, but there's a purpose to that, and I think other games will copy it. You're locking onto characters to interact with them now, and you can do that to any dog that you find, and hold down R1/RB in the same way that you would with animals and horses and stuff, and he'll kind of study that animal. And if you look in the scrapbook, he's basically, I'm guessing there's a certain amount of types of dogs in the world, and you're accounting for each of them, which is cool. Have you read the scrapbook much?
No, I've been like streaming quite a bit of it, so I've not been reading everything, but there are some interesting. I love how John's in it.
He's got a scrapbook, and he's jotting down as he goes. He's drawing pictures of people. He's writing notes to himself, like diary entries. What I would say is anybody that like gets a train to work or something like that, if you download the, which I never do this, I never do shit things like download a fucking app for a game. But if you do it for this one, you can access all that stuff, and you can access the journal and just read through all that stuff at your leisure.
Oh, that's what I want.
Definitely worth doing. This universe building, this character building. This is like. This game is fucking out of this world in terms, and like I in terms of comparing to Naughty Dog, it's not just the graphical stuff. Like I think the character building in this game is up there with Naughty Dog as well. This is up there with Uncharted, which is fucking like that was, Uncharted used to be in my mind just the daddy in terms of actual bringing characters to life in video games and making them detailed and wherever else. And I think from what I've seen so far, like the first 15-20 hours, this game competes with that, but on that wider basis. It's an open world fucking game. There's so many characters in it.
Is it only?
It feels like it's linear in the sense of whenever I'm going anywhere, it feels like I'm doing something. It's like I'm never. I don't know. Whenever I'm going somewhere, it just feels like I'm in a linear story. I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do, and I'm just doing it by free will. It's pretty weird. It's never been a game that felt that way. Like
you're just going on a random mission, which in the greater course of things is fairly low key. We're going to go and rob these guys. It feels like a fucking thing that you're doing. It's like, right, we are leaving the camp. We are tangibly leaving the camp. We might not come back. This is an effort for us to go. It's going to take us a day or two to do it, and when we come back, we're going to be dirty and tired. It just.
And your beard
brought all these things together, this tangible stuff to make you feel that. I just think it's incredible.
Have you done the mission where you're collecting debts? Have you done any debt collection?
Throughout the game.
Yeah, I did one of them where it was I think he gives you 3 or 4 to do, but the first one I did, it was the guy who spoke Polish. Well, he spoke German, I think. And Polish. Yeah. And then I went there. I thought, okay, I'll probably have to hog tie him, and then get a few things from around him. But like the interaction just felt like a main story, and you're making him out, and you're making him kind of get it out of him where his stuff is, and if he's got, and you could know. Did you see that he was standing in front of a dresser?
Yeah.
And I was thinking, oh, what? Maybe I can just interact with him again, because I collected enough things to pay for his debt, and I was about to leave, and I was like, oh, maybe if I speak to him, maybe we can be friends or something. But the interaction wasn't speak; it was move. I was like, move. Clicked on it, and it's like, hey, do you fancy moving? What are you hiding there? And he's like, no. And there's something of real, like, much better value. What's behind him?
Did you take it?
Oh yeah.
So this is I've seen some criticism from some people in terms of, oh well, this is big open world, but actually the character's already predefined, and I'm not feeling like I've got any agency. I would very, very much disagree with that. They've definitely made this character, and he's kind of
bad guy next time.
yeah, he's kind of ambiguous, but just to like that little story piece, right? So you go there, you want to collect money off this guy, you fucking beat him up a little bit until you beat him to the point where he can speak English, which
Yeah.
fuck.
Wow, that's quite impressive.
It's impressive. You should try that, Ben.
I will do. Yeah. I do. That's what I do. So I'm going wrong.
Them in the face.
Speak English.
But then I search the house, I find some nice brandy and shit, and I get like my $35, which is what this chap owes me. And like you said, he's standing in front of this dresser. So like I don't stop at the $35. I search the rest of the house. I go into the 2 rooms. I take everything, and then I did go to speak to him, like you said, and you've got that kind of interaction point where you can make him move. You open that drawer. Do you know what the item was?
A gold wedding ring, I think.
It was it's his wedding ring. He was defending his wedding ring. He didn't care about anything else in the house. He cared about his wedding ring. My character closed the drawer and left that, and that's that little bit of nuance.
Did anything come up?
Sorry?
Did anything come up saying like you've got a bit of honor? Because now you make me regret doing that.
No. I don't think the game's going to pick it up at that level, but that's that kind of just that. It's almost like level design storytelling stuff. Like all that is that he's defending that. There's other valuable stuff in the house. All he cares about is this wedding ring that he has. I can't remember if his wife is dead. He might have said that or something. But basically, he's defending that, and obviously playing as like I don't think you're necessarily supposed to play this game as I can make this character completely bad, because you could do that in the stuff between the stories, and it'll impact your honor rating, and that'll impact some other bits and pieces. But ultimately,
there is like a bar underneath that you can pick up. Yeah, and if you get all the way down to red, I'm pretty sure some of the things will change.
Yeah, but like you've got to assume that the overall, and this might be again somewhere where Rockstar surprises us, but you've got to assume the overall narrative arc is going the way that it's going, right? So
yeah, of course. But there is some missions I've done, and it's like I could clearly done something really bad here, and he was like teasing about doing it, but then he just shifts around, and now I'm gonna do the good thing. This is not what I want to do. And
did you choose to do that, or was that part of was that just the narrative of the game that did that?
That was the narrative, but
so you think it might have impacted that?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, because
if that's the case, that's amazing. Yeah, I don't know if that's the case.
But I don't know, but I'm pretty sure, because it felt like this. He was going to a crossroad here, and he chose. So yeah, I'm gonna check
that's
that.
My assumption is that crossroad will always go the same way. If we're saying that actually your honor rated impacts that's fucking awesome, because that does give you a lot of player agency. Fucking A, what a game.
Yeah, I'm loving it. Have you been and done the mission where I'm making this is a spoiler-free podcast, but there's one where you go and you're looking for somebody, and then the person who's helped you get there says, "Hey, check up the fireplace. That's where the money will be." I was told by someone in the chat that says pretty much whenever you go in a place where there's a gang hideout, check in the fireplace, in the chimney.
Yeah, there's definitely been a couple of places that I can interact with the fireplace.
Yeah. So
I didn't think about that.
That's where I'm gonna just like little things like that.
I guess it's also some hollow trees that you can interact with.
Yeah, I haven't got there yet. I'm just loving exploring at the moment. I've actually not until today. Today I've done 2 missions, but before that, like for 4 hours, I was just exploring, wandering around, and I don't know if it's criticism yet, but traveling from one place to another, you can ignore stuff, but there's just so much happening that if you want to travel from this place to another place, across the open plains, you're probably going to come across something. And you're not going to have kind of an uninterrupted journey, which sometimes I kind of just want.
It is a bit annoying that you run past 10 girls that has the horse over her leg, and
so I've not.
But I think
have you done it once?
Some RNG there.
Have you done it? Have you triggered that? Like, obviously you've seen that. Have you saved it once?
Yeah.
You've done it once and you've seen it repeatedly.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I've only seen that woman once. And I picked her up. I took her home. Took her home. I've never seen that again.
Because I just took the horse away and then I just went. So maybe I have to get her home then.
Yeah.
because she seems quite substantial.
Yeah.
I think what they're doing is, you do that, and that she's going to come back at some other point. So they're trying to make you complete that. I think
She's in the gang that's gonna kill me at the end.
potentially. But I've seen no repetition. I think the game stands out in terms of just.
Have you had the person get kicked in the head yet? Apparently, if you get his horse, apparently if you get his horse is a really good one. Apparently. So, but
really?
I didn't realize, and the horse ran off. So I'm hoping I see him again.
Yeah.
I'd quite like that.
I've only had I had the one horse that you had the horse that you get at the start as part of the story, and then I when you get to the kind of horse biomechanic stuff, I bought one there and kept it, and it died today, which was it really pissed me off actually.
I had a free.
You have to have those horse survival things.
Yeah, but so like okay, so let's talk about the horse stuff. So I think it's fucking brilliant what they're doing in terms of making you really engaged with the horse, and you definitely don't want it to die, and all the little interactions you can do. Like when I'm riding, if I go up a particularly tough piece of hill or something, and I know actually I probably shouldn't be making my horse go up this, I'll click in L3 and just say well done girl or boy or whatever your horse is,
Whatever it identifies.
brushing them, feeding them, all that kind of stuff. I love what they're doing with that, and obviously that's going to lead to some really nice emergent pieces where either the horse gets in trouble or saves you or wherever else. And I was waiting for that to happen, and what I'm doing is taking a selfie with each of my horses. So I've only had one so far. Her name's Ira, which is Welsh for snow.
You've got photos.
Yeah, I take a selfie.
Can you take? I didn't know you could take
a selfie in this game.
No, I've just been taking pictures of the landscape.
So if you get the camera out, you can click R3 and do a selfie. So I'm going to do one with each of my major horses, the one that I give names. And so I was riding with this horse. And then today I was just coming back from a mission, and some bounty hunters started attacking me because I've got like fucking crazy bounties everywhere.
Really?
And I don't want to. I'm putting all of my money into the camp. I just want to upgrade the camp as quickly as possible. So I'm not paying any of these bounties off. So I got attacked. Decided to fight it out because it was quite near the camp, and I didn't know what would happen if I led them back to the camp. I assumed nothing, but I just thought, fuck it, I'm going to fight them off. I got thrown off the horse, and then I noticed that the horse wasn't getting back up, and he was like squealing and shit. I was like,
no.
fuck, the horse is dying. But then I got shot, and I've died a couple of times in this game, and it's like all you do is lose a little bit of money. Have you died?
Yeah, I've died. I lost.
Many times.
Fucking awesome, because you die and it starts you off like in an amazingly framed vista. Like it'll just be the character leaning against a tree and just looking out on the lake or something like that, right? So it's really cool. And then every time I've done it, I'm like, fuck, was my horse? And I look around, the horse is there. And I did it this time. So the horse was dying. I died first. So I was like, I should be okay, right? Loaded, whistle. And this is another little fucking amazing detail. I might be making this up, right? But I'm very sure. I press up to whistle to my horse, and he grimaced. He looked sad because because he was thinking about the fucking horse, and there was no horse to come because the horse had fucking died. So because they had shot my horse, and then I had died and not recovered it, my horse was gone. I was like, fuck. And it was a little bit anticlimactic because like I was imagining that my horse will get shot. I'll try to rescue her, but I can't, and then she'll just be dead. But like we both died at the same time, but then she's gone, so I didn't have a chance to save her. Which isn't ideal, but it's fine. I'll go and buy a new horse and name that one and take a picture of it.
Yeah. And when you buy horses, it's like there is some random generated what kind of horse you can get.
Yeah.
It says underneath if it's like a war horse, standard, or workhorse, I think.
Yeah, I got one because I got the Ultimate Edition.
They have different. Because when you have leveled up the horse enough, you can press square, I think.
Yeah.
And with the standard one, you can go sideways. That's the thing.
You can drift.
And I don't know, but I suspect when you get a war horse or a race horse higher, you get something else on the square button. But I'm not sure.
Yeah, maybe. No, well, mine was a war horse, and it was you just do the drifting thing. Yeah, same thing.
I wonder what's the difference is then.
I imagine they're just faster. Like some probably have more. Like mine was like thick, like really thick fucking legs and like a good foot taller than the other horses. So I'm probably going to go for like a more just normal looking horse this time because mine was fucking huge.
Yeah.
but she's dead now, and that's really sad.
Oh, did you have to walk a while
I
as well?
did
Or?
something when you make a camp in the wild
Mm.
and you go to sleep.
Can you fast travel from there? Like in the original? Can you fast travel when you make a camp in the wild? Because you could in the
No, so
original.
the-
Okay.
I don't think so.
No, you can't. So the fast travel mechanic is just in the main camp. So you buy it's like $350 to buy this upgrade. And you basically plant a map of the world, which is quite funny actually, because it's the full map of the world, but on your map, obviously there's still the fog of war. But this just tells you, like, if you haven't been on Reddit or something to see the map, this will just show you what the fucking map looks like, which is fine. But then any towns that you've already been to, you can fast travel there. But it does it in a way where it's not just like, okay, click a button, loading screen, you're there. As you can imagine with this game, everything is polished and cinematic. You see him get on the horse, and there's this cool music, and it shows like a couple of scenes of scenery on the way to the place that you're going and stuff like that.
I never. So we've got some questions coming here, and here's the first one from Alexander Tron. Says, how are you guys playing the game? Are you guys going to be honorable or straight up villains or neutral? What are you so
The
far?
game kind of it doesn't force you, but I don't know, if you have normal morality,
Yeah.
you're just gonna play it in like a default way, which because you're a character, he's a outlaw, but also he has great morale in some sense. So I believe many people are just gonna play it the default way the first time, where you're gonna be like semi-nice.
Yeah, that's what.
But you're a bad man.
When I was playing when I was doing the debtor thing, and I was like beating that dude up to get money, that's like one of the first times in the game where I thought, whoa, actually, yeah, I am a bad guy. I'm not the good one. I am. And also earlier on, I think it's cool when you meet you see the Native Americans that are looking down on you from over, but they're not attacking you. And he says something like, yeah, we have kind of screwed them over a bit. So it does remind you that you are kind of the bad. You're not, the good hero that starts from nothing. You are, straight away you're one of these really respected in your gang kind of outlaws, really. So you're not.
Like they're a gang, but they've got a bit of a code of honor. They like the way they think about it. The way they internalize it, I guess, is that the people that they kind of rob from, it's kind of like a Robin Hood mentality. They do bank jobs, they pick on lawmen and stuff like that. They try to shy away from just robbing a woman in the wilderness and stuff like that. But obviously your character can do that, and I think there is a bit of a disconnect. But ultimately, once the story's finished, like, who cares? You can just go about and do what you want. But the way that I'm playing it is just like I always do with these type of games, just kind of react to each situation in the way that I feel is right.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes if I think, like, if I've just got off the back of a story mission, so as an example, when the horse died, I went back to try and find the horse's body, because obviously I died, so I spawned elsewhere. All that was left there was the saddle. The saddle's a mechanic, you need to pick that up.
Yeah, you can keep it. That's cool.
The inventory thing, so I had to pick that up, put it on my stupid temporary horse that I'm going to shoot in the head when I can.
Sent to the glue factory.
But then there was like a little event happening near where my horse had died that I could hear. And it was basically two people trying to crack into like a safe or something that was on the back of a cart. And they were just talking to each other saying, come on, you can get into it. And eventually they got into it. And typically the way that I would handle that is just to talk to them and try to get some money out of it. But I was like so pissed off because of the horse. I just fucking killed those motherfuckers. I just chased them like they were fires and just fucking took them down and took their money and just went back to camp in a bad mood.
Yes, when you greet some people, they'll either, it's weird, like you'll go along, you'll be just riding your horse and someone will come in front of you and you can greet them. And I've greeted them before and they've replied, hey, howdy, partner, yeah, howdy, friend, and that. And then sometimes they just like, fuck off, and they get the gun out and they just start shooting you even though you've just said hello. That's when I first died, because I was totally not expecting that. I just greeted a guy, hi, and he's like, what, how dare you? And so if you just shot at me.
Sinister, I don't know, I can't remember what it was, but I was in Valentine and something just really annoyed me. And this guy was nagging me. So the thing I did was, it was at night, so there wasn't many people. So I just used the rope and got him on the horse.
Just carried him behind.
I just long up in the mountain.
Oh wow.
So I wouldn't make any noise. I took the bow and just shot him in the head. And I was like, oh, this felt so good.
God, it's like me when one of my favorite things.
Valentine. Go on.
No, it's just very quick. It reminds me exactly what happened in Red Dead 1 was when I saw a guy who was beating up a prostitute or something, or a woman. I think it was a prostitute, and I just so I attacked him. So the police didn't, or the sheriff didn't really care because I attacked him, hog-tied him, and then went over, found a nice area in the on a train spot, and just left him there and waited for like a good 20 minutes for the train to come. It's getting your revenge on some people in this game. It's really cathartic, very relaxing.
Yeah. So I'll give you an example. So I was riding out of Valentine at like nighttime, and he had two people arguing, and it was a guy, basically a woman and a guy having a shouting argument, and the guy was like, "Yeah, I like it rough" or something like that. And he's clearly gonna like either physically or sexually abuse the woman, and then he grabs her and he starts putting her head into like a pig's, like like a horse's trough thing. That they drink out of. So he's basically drowning her. So I guess the binary decision in the game is: do you just ride on and just let that woman get fucked up by this cunt, or do you intervene? So obviously I intervene. I get off the horse. I punch this motherfucker in the face. The woman just runs. She just runs off into the wilderness. So I'm left to fight this fucker. So I just knock him out. I hog tie him, and obviously he's tied up. Then I'm like, I wonder. So obviously he was trying to drown her in this in this what you call like trough thing. I picked him up and then I positioned myself correctly and then put him back down. He fitted perfectly in that trough, and he was just fucking laying there hog-tied in the trough, and I just rode off.
Did he die? I didn't know.
His head was kind of above the water, so he wouldn't have drowned, but he was just tied up in this trough, and I just thought, fuck. Like again, just these emergent moments that it's where the game is strongest. Just these amazing emergent moments that they let you do.
Yeah,
I hugged the dude, and then I left him on the side of the water, so his head was underwater and everything, but he didn't die.
No.
Oh really?
There's a guy who I don't know if you loved it because it's kind of an early mission, but a dude jumps off a cliff into some water, and then you've got to go and collect him. And I grabbed him with my lasso. But they said, like, yeah, you can hog tie him and stuff, but you have to be quick, because if you end up like hog tying him and he's too long under the water, then they will die. So you got to kind of be careful in that way.
Yeah, people can definitely drown. I guess.
Oh yeah.
Just, some instances they won't for some reason.
Next question from Ace of Twitch says, "Have you guys encountered any large bugs yet in the game?" I've not encountered a single bug that I'm aware of.
Only with the horse sometimes, because it's really difficult. Sometimes the horse just can't stand where you want to go, and it's just weird. But there's no game-breaking bugs.
No. Nothing major. The thing that I keep seeing coming up, and this will be something that they'll handle probably in the first or first couple of patches. Now and again, I'll just see items like a couple of cans or something just floating instead of being on a table. And I've seen that a few times. Like I was riding down a road earlier, and there were just like 3 bottles, which were clearly off. They should have been on the back of a wagon or something.
Yeah.
And I don't know what happened. I'm guessing I've seen it in the camp. I've seen it throughout the world. I'm guessing it's something like those bottles are on like a vehicle or something like that, and then the game needs a resource, so it removes the vehicle, and for some reason those bottles are just left there, and if you touch them, then physics become a thing and the bottles will fall. I've seen it in a few games, but I've seen it a few times in this one. But like I said, I'm sure it's something they'll patch out at some point.
It's someone is carrying some cans of tuna or something, and when I interact with them, or it starts with cinematic or something, they just float.
Yeah.
I found it really, really good for an open world game. Like the number of bugs is so few. I haven't encountered any. None at all, and it just feels so.
You have to look for the bugs to find them.
Yeah,
it won't be up in your face bugs.
Next question is from Astral Fairy. Oh, is it for Jordan? Do you think the online mode should be gender inclusive, or are you sexist and think it should only be male, so straight white men won't go on Twitter ranting about not wanting anyone in particular?
Well, the game stars a wide female cast, so I'd be very surprised if the online mode was just men.
Abigail, though, I beat at Domino's.
There is missions about gender equality, so.
Ooh.
Yeah, there's a suffragette mission.
Have you been
today?
Neither of you been to Saint Denis? There's a racist dude in there, like proper racist, saying some stuff, and it's like wow, I was a bit uncomfortable. Well, I was very uncomfortable, but it was like
I
interesting.
like the way they've dealt with the race issue so far. Initially, I was a little bit hesitant in terms of you've got your initial gang, and there's this one black guy, and I was like, okay. Well, there's that guy, but there's Lenny is he seems fully African American, and I was like, like that seemed, from what I know of the period and the type of people, I would have thought that it just wouldn't have been cool for an African American guy to be traveling with them, but then they don't labor the point, but they definitely talk about it, and there's a little bit of banter. Like some of the shittier people in the gang do make some shitty comments. But when you interact with Lenny, he talks about how, some people have got shitty opinions. And what's really impressive is eventually during the story, you'll travel south and you've got on a mission with him, and the player character is quite naive about it because he comes from the north. So he's like, as far as he's concerned, people are people. He's not going to judge them on the color of their skin. And Lenny explains to him, look, there's a lot of people who do not think that way down here, and they will systematically try to fucking. He literally says they will fucking crucify me and they will castrate me. Yeah. And the player character's like, fuck, I didn't know that. So I think they're not necessarily laboring the point to where it's like, okay, this game now becomes about race equality, and the underlying theme is how shitty it was for black people at this time. I think we all know that, but it doesn't ignore it either. And I guess I was worried about it being a case of, okay, we need to have diversity in the group, but we're not going to touch the race thing. At the end of the day, you're in fucking southern United States in the 1800s. Race is not a pretty fucking situation at that point, and they need to touch on it. But there's I guess my point is, what I like about it is that the way that they talk about it is very matter of fact. It isn't just it isn't labored on in terms of this is the worst evil in the world. The black guy's very pragmatic about it. He's like, look, there are some people who fucking hate me for the color of my skin, and we just either need to fuck those people up or leave them alone. But it doesn't become like they don't focus on it and become too emotive about it. I guess it's just a fact of fucking life.
In the middle of John's discussion, we had a host of 173 people. So
we'll take that.
They all heard Jordan's.
Hello, people.
Hello, hey, Kato, Noise and Thunderboys. Thank you so much for that host. The alerts are off because this is going to be put on YouTube and iTunes and stuff like that. So rather than having constant alerts, it's turned off. But yeah, thank you so much for that. I don't think so far I've only played 6-7 hours. I think this obviously there are plenty of sensitive issues in Red Dead, and they don't seem heavy-handed at all yet. Whether they are later, I don't know. But like I say, it sounds like Kotaku were very impressed. So if Kotaku were impressed, then
that's a good sign.
It's a good sign, yeah. Right, next question. This is a good one. Have you guys had any events happening at your camps? So, for example, campfire sing-alongs. I didn't even realize this was a thing. I've not even done a camp yet.
The camp is extremely dynamic. There was a particular point actually when I was playing last night where I don't know whether it was Dutch or somebody in the crew was like, we just need to celebrate, like we're doing well. I think it was a bit of an end of a chapter type moment, and they were like, we just need to have a party, and they triggered this event throughout the night where there was a party going on, and it's like the way the Rockstars carve this stuff together, it's like it felt clockwork. They were just people going, like I was there for a good in real time about half an hour, in the world time like 6 hours, and just people singing and then move in to speak to each other. There was so much going on in that camp. You'd find people coupled off and went off a little bit to talk to each other, and you could go and listen to their conversations. People are in groups having sing-alongs, drinking competitions, stuff like that.
Yeah,
it was really dynamic and really, really impressive. I've never seen, like so many things in this game, I've never seen anything that comes close to the way that they did it. Really impressive.
Incredible. And it's just so you can just spend hours and hours, and you've got a totally different story to everybody else. I'm sure next week we'll have new stories of things that we've been doing, and yeah, I'm I'm loving it. Really, really enjoying it.
I'm not even sure if I'm going to be done for next week.
Oh no, I don't think I'll be
So
done for
long.
months. I'm just really enjoying taking it slowly. That's what I did with the original. I'm not even thinking of. I'm doing missions. If I'm like, oh, if I'm near a mission, I'll do it. But if I'm not near a mission, I'm just gonna go and hang around, explore. Like I've heard that the original map is in
People are
this.
going to start to spoil the end soon.
Yeah, but I've got mods in my chat so they can delete them. They can. I don't ever want to rush a game because I feel like someone's gonna spoil it or what. But have you got to any part from the original game? Because apparently Blackwater and like Mexico, the Mexican maps in it. I wonder if you could.
So the way that they handle Blackwater, obviously the start of the story is
Yeah.
that you've left Blackwater and been chased away from there. Blackwater's kind of south on the map, and
So
when
it's
you
southwest?
eventually kind of
Because the map kind of
Yes.
splits to the side, doesn't it? Yeah.
southwest, kind of south central, but yeah, it's slightly west. And when you eventually start unlocking map towards it, the whole area is red, and I'd never really understood why it was. And if you hover over it, it says there's a large bounty. I was like, I don't think I've been there. Like, why do they hate me so much? Then I clicked. I'm like, okay, that's before the start of the story. That city is in lockdown.
Mhm.
Eventually, as part of the story, you will go back there, and you'll. I haven't been into the city yet, but you kind of overlook it without giving too much away. You go near there, and you can totally travel there at any point if you want to. But there's a large bounty on your head, so I think if you get to a certain point of a bounty, whereas if you got like a relatively small bounty on your head, it'll just be now and again bounty hunters will come after you, or if you break the law, then lawmen will recognize you as that person. If you get to a certain point, then just like even if you just walk past a police officer in the street, they'll recognize you and come after you. And it was that kind of lockdown. And the lockdown stuff is cool as well. Like if you go into a town and totally fuck it up, so like rob a bank and kill loads of people.
Yeah, someone was
that
asking
town will
about
go
that.
into lockdown.
Okay, because they're asking if it respawns or anything.
It'll go into lockdown for a while, and I haven't really observed it. And what this game is really fucking good at is NPCs will actually carry out actions and seemingly reset kind of the status quo.
Okay.
I've not seen what happens with a lockdown city yet. I just know that they can lock down.
I want to do a
I've never
playthrough,
been
a
back
real
to like observe what's going on there. But
badass
for a few
playthrough.
days, if you go back there, you can't just go to the shop or anything like that. You know, it's fucked up, and I imagine there's a big police presence.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to trying out that then. I want to. You said you looked at Blackwater. Does it look identical to it in the first one? But obviously,
It's not identical. It's similar. I reckon. Like obviously, I've played through the original recently, and I remember that city anyway. I think it's really well done in the original. It's very similar, but obviously this game is like in my mind, it's one generation of consoles and multiple generations of fucking artistry. I think. In terms of the way this world looks. So yeah, the town looks way more impressive, way bigger. Kind of what they were suggesting Blackwater should be, even though it was only like 2 streets in the original. You know,
how cool would it be if they released the original game in as like DLC or standalone in that? It could work.
Yeah, it wouldn't hold your breath.
No. Rockstar not big fans of
just
going
kind
back.
of in a similar vein about like NPCs resetting status quo and stuff. So there was this really cool bit where I was just riding around on the way to a mission in like a big wilderness place, and I got into a bit of a gunfight. I think I was like defending somebody, and it just got a proportion. Basically, a lot of people got killed. Right, don't worry about it. And somebody then, I don't know if you've seen this yet, but like say somebody attacks you, and you defend yourself, and you kill that person. Then you're standing there, and somebody goes past on a horse. They will assume that you've just shot that person, and they will try to inform the law that you fucking just killed somebody. So that basically happens to me. If somebody gets the wrong end of the stick, they run away. I don't go and get them. They report it to the law. So it just so happened that there was a big hill, like a really large like mountain fucking thing. So I just rode to the top of that, and I could see on my map the kind of red circle where the law enforcement was. And he was going to investigate kind of where I'd shot these people. But obviously I'm on top of this mountain and quite far away. I got the binoculars out and just observed what they would do. So from like just like GTA game or something, the logic is that police officers would turn up, not really do much and fuck off. This was ridiculous. Like three law enforcers turned up on horses, got off the horses, started investigating the crime scene, started like walking up to corpses and fucking looking at them and shit. And they split off one of them looked at one corpse, one of them just did a general search, another one went over to like a caravan thing to search that. And what they also did was pick up the bodies, put them on their horses, and ride away with them.
Wow.
What the fuck is this game?
I said game of the year 2021, not necessarily this year.
Jesus Christ.
I had another question in the chat. Do you prefer first person or third person?
I never played first person in this.
I played it for like 30 seconds. And I was like, yeah, I much prefer third person. It feels more beautiful.
I think the first person in this game is better than in GTA 5. In GTA 5, it definitely felt like, and it was, because obviously it was added at a later date, it felt like something added to a third person game. This one feels, I think you could definitely play this as first person, but I think you'd be missing out on a lot. I think a large part.
Try it on PC. Maybe it's gonna be cool with first person.
Mm-hmm.
I think this game is very much a third person game, and I think a lot of the charm is in the player character and the amount of detail on that player character, and the way that when you walk around, they frame everything cinematically with your guy looking at things and all that kind of stuff. I think you lose a surprising amount by going into the first person mode, even though it's a little bit more what's the word? Like engrossing, but not engrossing. What am I looking for? Immersive. I always find fit, like ideally like a big RPG, like a Fallout or an Elder Scrolls. I totally play those in first person, but because this isn't designed that way, and like I said, because the player the player character is a fucking work of art if you look at him. Like the amount of polygons on that guy and the amount of detail in his clothes, and the fact that you can customize this guy heavily,
and the horse
and the horse is so impressive. But it looks like, it looks like it's of the level of Kratos in God of War, and Geralt in The Witcher, in terms of having the swords and stuff on you, but they move, and the physics on the clothes and stuff. But I think it's more impressive than that, and the fact that you can really heavily customize. There's so many different clothes. You can cut your hair and wherever else. So yeah, long story short, I'd say third person's the way to go with it.
Yeah, I like first person for first person shooters. Kind of stick to that. Whereas this is so much exploration. I just want to see as much as possible. What about you, man?
I might do some hunting in first person when I finish the game. I just want to.
What are your plans next in the game, Melum?
What my plan is?
Yeah, what's the next time you log on? Well, are you in the game right now? Are you like Andre playing in the off stream?
I don't
eating tacos and playing games.
Yeah.
No, but I just finished. I upgraded my camp to full.
Oh wow!
Everything.
Oof.
And
what?
Did you get the moose?
Everything?
Did you get the antlers on things?
And I got the best saddle and the best thing for the horse. You get the stats from the saddle and the thing you put your leg in.
Your pouch?
Foot in.
Oh, the stirrup.
Yeah.
That's stirrup. I don't know.
You get stats to the horse, so it comes faster.
Oh. I've got really good.
Either way, I got all the stuff, so now I'm just gonna farm. I'm gonna hunt because I just got the leatherwork thing, so I'm gonna.
Oh, I've just got that one. That's weird. Like, so you've upgraded your camp and you've just got the leatherworks thing, and I've not been updating at all. Yeah, I've done the opposite way around. I've not upgraded any of my camp actually. I'm trying to unlock a few things for my satchel. Because I'd quite like an fully upgraded satchel eventually, but I need to go and kill some animals first. Oh, and how gross is it when you're skinning animals?
So cool.
Like you get a rabbit, you put your finger in its butt, and then like rip the skin off it.
I don't think.
Sure, he's put it up the butt.
I think it's in the butt. Yeah.
Wow.
It's beautiful.
More time.
Time to feel that.
Malin, when you say you've upgraded the camp completely, so like the. So, as an example, you've got the fast travel map.
Yeah.
You got the boat.
Yeah.
The boat.
You've literally okay. Fair enough.
Wow.
All right. Okay.
But
I think more things probably unlock later on. I'm guessing. Maybe.
Yeah, because I'm on the second camp, and I guess it's gonna be more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Well, we're gonna come to an end very soon because I want to play more. We've been talking about it.
Play forever.
I was going to do a bit of wrestling or something afterwards. I'm like, nope, I want to play more. And if you stick around, guys, I'll be streaming it.
But
yeah.
Can I give a tip?
Yeah.
No,
Give me the tip. Just the tip.
just a tip. There is a in the second camp. There's a mission you get from.
Second
Bill.
camp. Oh. Okay.
Do that one.
Do the bill mission. All right.
Yeah.
Yes, will do. Anyway,
give me a clue. What is it?
You're going back, but the thing is, you just get so much money.
Going back to what?
Valentine.
all right. Anyway, spoiler free. We'll find out. But we'll be back next week with the Twitch special. It's gonna be a Twitch special of Click Play. Hopefully, I'm doing my best to get Boto Colin and Dagenmar to join. They're at TwitchCon right now, so we'll hear about how they've enjoyed queuing to get into it, because it looks like that's all people are doing that are there. We'll get any of the gossip from them and anybody else who you know that might be at TwitchCon who might be interested. In fact, I know another. So we'll try and get a TwitchCon special, but we'll be back with more Red Dead chatter, I'm sure. I don't think there's anything coming out in the next 2 weeks. Oh, there's the Fallout beta this weekend. Is that interesting, either of you?
Yeah, so I've played a little on Xbox, and we've got the PC version.
Oh, actually, yeah.
this
Well,
week,
before
so
we finish,
I'll talk about that on the next show. I'll let
Okay.
you know whether, because initial
Is it
signs
the game
are
coming
bad.
out?
initial signs are bad.
Yeah. Middle of November, Mel. is when that
Okay.
game comes out.
Oh, so soon.
Yeah.
Well, kind of
Yes,
soon.
we'll talk about that. Well, we'll talk about that around about release time. I'll let you know what the beta looks like and whether or not it's worth playing.
You say
I've
right
also been
now.
playing Starlink.
Oh, Starlink,
That's
you got
pretty
it.
good on Switch.
Did you get any of the toys?
No. I just bought the full digital things. We've got everything unlocked.
Okay, well, yeah, I want to know about that then. Because, yeah, the next time we go, it'll be just before I go to Norway. So it'll be good to get some. Well, it'll be like 2 weeks before Norway. It'll be good to get some ideas on a Switch game to play on the plane.
And I just noticed on the eShop on the Switch today that Rogue Legacy is coming out in a few days, so everybody should go and pre-order that. It's like £10, because it probably is the best roguelike game ever made.
After Dead Cells. Yeah.
How dare you?
All right, so thank you all very much. It's so good to see you again, Melon.
Likewise.
Well, I hope we're going to be roaming the plains a lot on Red Dead Online when that comes out in November.
Oh God,
Can't wait. God, that might be out at the same time as Fallout 76. I
it
wonder.
doesn't matter. I'll be playing this. Nothing is going to stop me
No.
from playing this game.
Yeah, we need to also, Mel. We need to talk later about hotels. Oh yeah,
Oh,
with Mirta. 'Cause
Oh.
in where are we staying in Drammen? We're staying on the floor, partying.
Oh yeah,
until-
that's true.
Okay.
We don't need a bed.
No, just party all night. But yeah, thank you, Brenda, Jordan. Oh, first, Jordan, how do we find you?
Twitter, Mortan Jord.
Immortan Jord. And Mellum, how do we find you?
I don't know. I can't find myself.
Oh,
Deep man.
yeah, follow Mellum Manon on Twitch, so that you get an alert when he's back. And yeah, I'm still on here. BiggusBennus on Twitch and BiggusBennus
Can I ask
on
one more
Twitter.
question to round us off?
Yeah, go on then.
Has anybody seen anything supernatural in this game yet?
No.
Okay, cool. Let's leave it at that then.
All right. Okay.
Speak to you in 2 weeks.
Not yet. See you in 2 weeks.
Fuck you.
All right. Okay, we're gonna BRB for 7 minutes while I go and reset everything. But yeah, catch you. Ooh, where's the ending thing? There we go. Bye bye.
Bye bye.